October 4th, 2019 is World Dyslexia Awareness Day. I was diagnosed with having dyslexia, which is moderate to severe, when I was 24. That meant I went through the entire school system thinking that I was just a little bit thick and perhaps a little bit different. My school reports say all sorts of things. Joanne tries hard, but she needs to concentrate more on her spelling. Her problems could be improved by sounding things better. Difficulty with sounds causes problems for Joanne with spelling, and her English work lacks attention. A good report, Joanne, but you need to concentrate more on your spellings, and your handwriting also needs attention. The fact of the matter is that at nearly 50, all those statements are still true about me. I still will do anything I possibly can to avoid writing, but my dyslexia comes with 1,000,001 benefits. I can think in pictures. For me, I don't see words in the same way. Words on a page sometimes jiggle about and change, but actually whole sentences and paragraphs appear to me a bit like pictures. I can memorise nearly everything, and for me, context and story are clearly what matters. If you ask me a question about who said what or what decision was taken in a meeting, I can generally transport myself back to the room and tell you what seat you were sat in and what you were wearing at the point that we did it. But I still feel judged. I think as a senior leader, it's become really hard to be open sometimes, and quite often I can be quite defensive about my dyslexia, and I can feel quite vulnerable in having people understand about it. But for me, it's a part of me. My brain is a little bit messy and it thinks very differently. But I'm really certain that those bits about me that are about human contact, about people, about emotions, about the story, the context and the bigger picture are those bits that make me a good leader. And the bits of my dyslexia are just things that I cope with. The things that really drive me to distraction are when people will turn around and say, you're going to need to write this down, Joanne, and oh, you're not writing that down, Joanne, can I give you a piece of paper? Or, Joanne, I've gone through your work and can I show you the bits that you got wrong? There's absolutely no point in telling me what bit of a sentence I got wrong. You can tell me every day for the next 22 years and I will still more than likely get that wrong. What really works for me is when colleagues who know that I have dyslexia manage that and help me manage that in a thoughtful way. The email that comes back and goes, I think you've used the wrong word, Joanne. Did you mean to say this? The colleague that gently says, do you mind if I move a few bits around a bit so it's got a bit more reading sense? Those colleagues that step in sometimes and go, oh, I'll put that down on a post-it and stick it on the wall for you, Joanne. I don't hide my dyslexia, but I do go through phases where it's difficult for me to feel confident and not feel judged. So on World Dyslexia Awareness Day, what I want you to do is to remember that we don't all have to be the same to have value. And if you think you might be dyslexic, there are some brilliant tests that you can do, and they also have some great pointers for coping strategies. If you work with somebody who is, or who you suspect might have dyslexia, think about how you can support them, but also bring out the best in them.